Let me say a special good morning to those of you listening to Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9. Good morning once again. Those of you viewing GBN TV, whether you're viewing Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 20, good morning to you. Those of you via social media platforms, good morning. Welcome to the point. Today, Thursday, the 4th of July. Good morning to friends and family out there in the U.S. It's a holiday for you folks up there today, right? 4th of July, a holiday. Good morning once again. Those of you here on the mainland, Grenada, how you doing? Let's say good morning once again, and can't of course, stop saying best wishes goes out to our family and friends of those in the Sister Isles of Carriacou and PT Martinique. And those of who are still, of course, hasn't gotten over the trauma as yet, I want to wish you a good day if you are able to hear me saying that to you this morning. I want to wish you all the best. And did hear from one of the of course networks here on island that they should have their system back up and running. So hopefully we get someone from Carriacou calling in this morning. Last evening I did hear, of course, got a notice from one of the networks stating that they got their LTE network back up in Carriacou. So probably we could get some calls from someone in Carriacou, and of course tell us what the situation is like there. Although we've been getting hearing the messages coming from folks who have visited the island and the last couple of days, they've been saying a whole lot what it's like, the devastation and so forth. And we want to hear that because there's still lots of folks who are concerned about family members and so forth in the Sister Isles. I haven't heard from them since, of course, the situation has occurred. Let's say good morning once again to those of you listening and viewing. Don't forget, you have the option of calling. Actually, I didn't even get you in that way. You're going to have an open line this morning. You know, usually on Thursdays we do entertain the RGPF. Various departments will pop in and, of course, share information with us. We don't have anyone representing this morning for some reason. I'm not sure if they're late or no one is coming in this morning, but I had to get the show going, so I had to start off. So anyway, we'll get into an open line this morning. Feel free to give me that call, 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's hear from you. I know you still feel strongly about the situation in the Sister Isles, and if you want to, of course, make a contribution towards that conversation this morning, feel free to do so. You have double the options of getting in contact with me this morning via the WhatsApp 435-2041. You can also call me direct 435-2041. Let's hear from you this morning. How you of course how do you feel about the situation thus far in terms of the relief efforts and so forth? Are you happy, or you think things could be done some more? Are you happy in terms of the process of the cleaning up thus far in various parts, especially in the northern part of the island? Is there still situations where you think the cleanup, of course, could have been done a bit faster? You know, it's just a couple of days after. I understand that. But how do you feel? How are you hearing from the residents in the areas who have been affected in terms of relief efforts for them? You know, the Carriacou, if you happen to have gone over to Carriacou and you came back and you probably want to share some information in terms of what you saw, feel free to give me the call and let's talk about it. 435-2041. Once again, those of you via social media platforms, especially those of you via the Facebook page, good morning to you. And thanks for, of course, tuning in thus far. After you're listening in your view, whatever part of the world you're at, and you're a Grenadian, I know what it feels like, you know, when you see situations of that nature on your island. I know it's not a pleasant feeling to have. So I certainly hope that you will do what you can in terms of spreading the relief effort for us, especially for the Sister Isle. It could have been worse. It could have been worse on the mainland itself. You know, we know the northern part of the island had some impacts up there. And there have been pockets of impacts, and you know, certain other parts of the island. I know folks in the southern part who may have lost their roofs, who may have lost in the southern part. As you know, the parishes of Guave and St. Mark may not have been that severe there, but there were folks who may have had some impact there somewhere or the other. So once again, it's an open line this morning. You know, I'm not the one to explain everything to you, so I'll give you the opportunity to call in and let me hear from you. 435-2041. Let's get the ball rolling this morning. Those of you, once again, driving on the nation's roads, good morning, and I beg of you to take it easy on the nation's road, especially those of you traversing the Granatang area. Still not the best conditions are there, although the roads have been cleared a wee bit, but I certainly will encourage you folks to drive with due care and attention. All right, let's entertain our very first caller this morning. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, GT. Good morning. I am making a plea on behalf of the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique and Union Island to some extent, because I understand that they're very near to Petite Martinique and they're like holding hands, sisters, right? So I'm making a plea that people who have a lot of mangoes and thing on the ground, collect them and send them up. They can do with, yes, they're getting those canned foods and so, but they can do with some fresh fruits and vegetables. I understand that a lot of mangoes are on the ground, plums and, so on and so on. So don't leave them to waste. Just, collect them. Think about Carriacou and Petite Martinique in that whole fix, yes? And if the police should come this morning, GT, I would like you to ask them, please, to explain the difference in a curfew and a state of emergency. Yes? Just by way of educating us, if they can explain the difference. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution. And I'm not sure which department is going to pop in this morning, but whoever comes in, I will certainly throw the question out to them if they are able to give us the answer for it. 445-2041, 445. Let's hear from you this morning. Let's hear your contribution this morning as it relates to how you feel thus far. The aftermath of the hurricane. We were not battered that badly here in the southern part, some folks would say, but the northern, and our sister as of Carriacou, of course, the caller before did mention Union Island, which is very close to Carriacou. They got some severe battering there also. So let's hear from you this morning, 435-2041, and certainly let's hear your contribution this morning here on the program. If you, as I was mentioning before I took the caller, if you drive along on the nation roads, there are areas that still, where the roads wasn't that cleared in the best way it should. Please drive along with due care and attention. Let's entertain a caller via WhatsApp. Caller, good morning. You're welcome. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
GT, yes, good morning. I just want to make an appeal to Grenadians to open up your hearts to the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. To a lesser extent, our fellow Grenadians in the north of the island. I was in Carriacou yesterday. I spent a day in Carriacou yesterday, came back in there very late last night. And like I said to most people I've spoken to thus far, a picture and a clip and so on are abstract images. Until you get on the ground, you look at the distress on the ground. It's a different story. I met Minister McIntyre there yesterday at the jetty at Harryville, and his words to me were, this appears to be worse than Ivan in Grenada. Ivan affected parts of Grenada, or several parts that were not affected. But this is because of the size of Carriacou, Petite Martinique, Union Islands nearby. They are very small islands. So the devastation is extended, it's dramatic, it's traumatic. I just want to appeal to persons in whatever way you can. Nothing is too little. Whatever your heart calls on you to give, whatever you are in a position to do, please do. That's my appeal to Grenada and the diaspora. Accounts have been set up by the government for relief funds. Instructions have been issued as to how you can wire money in and that kind of stuff. So I just want to make that appeal. Having been there myself and seen it, having experienced even myself in Grenada, I can sense the comparisons and the differences in the sense that I think it's even worse, the extent of the damages. So that's my appeal to Grenadians near and far. And anyone who can help, please do your best. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, and for sharing, of course, your experience this morning. And, as a caller did mention, having that personal experience of it, going out and see for yourself. He said pictures and so forth, they tell a story also. But being able to go on out and actually see for yourself what it's like. And, man, I could certainly understand from where the caller is coming from. So once again, those of us here on the mainland, Grenadians who are living over there in the diaspora, of course, we know you're going to be contributing some way or the other, but we understand to the extent of which it is. It's like right now. 435-2041. Once again, don't forget you have double options of getting in contact with me this morning. The WhatsApp, and also you can call me direct. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning. How are you this morning, sir?
For a while there, I was a bit silent, and I was hearing a silence from you on your end. I was hoping to get on the program this morning when particularly Innocent was trying to get a discussion going. He began the conversation with what can we do or what should be, where deficiency would have been shown up and what can we do to improve going forward and this type of thing. And even the state of mind of people are in the process as things are standing right now. Let me tell you something that happened over 10 years ago. That's in 2012. Well, you're talking about about 12 years by now. I used to live in be in River Sally around the time, where I noticed there was some problem that, well, to my mind, relative to NAGMA preparedness for disaster, hurricanes, or whatever. Mr. Walters, who was the head at the time of NAGMA, I think it was 2013, sorry. The head of NAGMA. He was on the radio the morning talking about a meeting that was to be held in River Sally at the time, the evening time, in which they would be having to choose volunteers or people for different committees and, shelters and so on, that type of thing. I called the program and I was very critical the morning of what I see about NAGMA situation, how they are not prepared for things. And I pointed out a few things. I went to the meeting in the afternoon. I spoke to the coordinator of NAGMA in the St. Patrick's district. Whilst I was talking to him, because I was critical about other things, he took me to the storeroom of NAGMA headquarters in River Sally and showed me what the storeroom looked like. The storeroom was basically virtually empty, but more than anything else, the storeroom is about 5 feet by about 7 feet. That's the whole storeroom area. The main part of the building, well, you might call it conference room or so, had about 20 computers on those desks inside of that place. The storeroom was basically empty. It's about 2 or 3 boxes there. There was not a fork, a spade, a hammer, a crowbar, a chainsaw, nothing. Not even a few bottles of water. In case of whatever situation, NAGMA has things in place to respond to it. Whilst I was talking to the coordinator, Mr. Walters walked in and listened, and he heard what I said, what I was saying to the coordinator, and he recognized that's the same person who spoke to him the morning on the radio. And it was the morning, it was a confrontational issue. It was very, actually, the host of the program, like you are, cut me off. Well, actually, no, he didn't cut, the person didn't cut me off. What they do, they try to get me to simmer down, cool off. But I was fuming. Maybe I should be fuming still, or even in talking to you right now. But I use that story to point out, I believe, I'm confident about that NAGMA still is not ready and prepared to deal with disaster in this country. Look at what we have here.
But you're referencing, but you're referencing 2013, and we're now in 2024. Are you saying, if I can hear from you, are you saying the preparedness level that we experience for 2024 is not better than we had in 2013, as you mentioned before?
And that's what I'm getting at. I don't see any change that much, or evidence of change that much. A lady called. Not only on that program, she called on another station too, and talk about what she saw happen in a shelter, for example. There was no water. Apparently, based on what she was saying, there was in no way prepared to accommodate the people that was there. A simple thing like water, in whichever shelter. How much things are, well, so you every day on the radio station, and that comes from NAGMA all the time too, to buy perishable, non-perishable stuff, store it up. That's what NAGMA should be doing more than anybody else in this country, because I as a private individual might not have the ability to buy things. I might be as broke as a mice. Whereas NAGMA should have funds available to prepare in such a situation. Where, if, for example, in the shelters, you should have, well, a few things are sardine, a few, let's say we might say quicks or whatever. Things that are there to be able to accommodate the people. sleeping bags, whatever. This ask Nagma, how much of this such a thing they have prepared for people in the shelters so far? Do an investigation. I could tell you, based on what I've been hearing, you don't have much of that going on. Communication, for example, to St. Patrick's. Remember I brought up the issue? Seeing that, the sun passed so close, or it passed over Carriacou, I expected St. Patrick's to be devastated. I wasn't hearing anything from there. When talks are being, when things are being discussed, you hear about Carriacou. I suspected only that St. Patrick's was devastated too. Must have been. And here we hear now. One lady called this morning on the program and talked about the devastation that is up there. Nagma should have had on the ground, and the communication is very deficient. That's evident. On the ground, people that can communicate directly to Nagma headquarters from St. Patrick's, from St. Andrews, from everywhere, every part of Carriacou. Because you heard that there was no communication even from the minister or the representative of the people up there. Where's the preparedness? That's evidence of non-preparedness. Simple. And I could go on for the whole morning, Mr. Gigi.
Well, I wouldn't be able to permit you to go on for the entire morning.
Ready,
but,
as far as I'm
I certainly appreciate your contribution. Thanks a whole lot. 435-2041. 435-2041. Let's hear from you this morning. And, of course, that caller was giving, of course, his synopsis of what he thinks in terms of Nagma. Raising the comparison from 2013 to 2024. Let's hear from another caller. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Caller, who is he blaming for that? The government that he did or Nagma? You see, I think we need to stop pulling fingers at people and institutions. Come together as a nation. Nagma alone could do it. What are you doing as a government? What is your contribution to helping anybody? This is what we have to worry about. You doing something and talking about Nagma. What are you doing as an individual? Everything is government and government. Are you ever thinking of taking one?
All right, caller, but let's not get into a boxing match about that. The caller made his contribution, and of course how he feels.
To anybody from St. Patrick's, this is what you have to start to worry about.
All right, man.
Big time and pointing fingers. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Have a good one. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome.
Yeah, JT, good morning. I want to know something. I'm calling from the diaspora. In St. Andrews, what happened? They don't have any electricity and thing there because they're trying to get, my sister Gloria by the surgery there to know what's going on with my house and, if everything is all right with her and my son. But
if I to understand, there's still areas within St. Andrew that is still out of electricity, fallen poles and so forth there. And I know Glen is in the process. I know some areas only got connected last night, so I'm not sure of the particular area that you speak of within St. Andrew, but there's still some areas that are still out of electricity. So more or less, the phone services these days, if there's no power, you may not be able to get, especially if you have the what we typically call the landline. If there's no power, you may not be able to have your phone work. I'm not sure for the cell service in the area if it's up and running appropriately as yet. So that information, I can tell you for the electricity part, there are still areas that don't have electricity as yet.
Okay,
could be one of the reasons why you're not hearing from the individual.
Okay, thank you. And the next thing, JT, the people, everybody, they want to blame Nagda and want to blame this. When they are going to the shelter, why don't they pack a bag with 2 sheets and some food stuff from their house and walk with it? They don't expect. We don't have.
Well, individuals were actually told to do that. If you could walk with supplies that you have,
walk with something. Why want to blame everybody else than themselves?
Caller, thank you so much. Have a good morning.
You're welcome.
All right. Folks, we're due for a break. Let's take that break and we'll come right back with more on the program this morning. 435-2041 right after the break. Don't touch it down.
Discover.
Good
day, ma'am. What would make it easier for you to reduce your plastic waste?
Definitely incentives for bringing back plastic bottles, like discounts and loyalty points. It would motivate me to recycle more.
I think if restaurants let us use our own takeout containers, it's all about convenience, you know?
It would help if manufacturers start using less packaging altogether.
Better infrastructure, more investment in recycling facilities, and innovative solutions to tackle this growing problem of plastic pollution. It's not just about individual action, it's about systemic change.
With our population growing and plastic becoming more prevalent in packaging, we have to equip our waste management agencies to keep pace with change and handle the load.
There you have it, folks, straight from the streets. People are willing to do the responsible thing if we create the conditions for them to do so.
Recycle OECS. Green actions, blue oceans.
Mark your calendars for a day of non-stop fun and laughter. The St. George's Lions Club, Spice Mass, and Glen present All Mass 2024. It's all happening at the Grenada Youth Center on Sunday, July 21st, starting at 3 p.m. Tickets are just $35 for adults and $15 for children 12 and under. Grab yours from any Lions and Leo members, Grenadian Optical, and Clear Vision. All Mass promises humorous antics and infectious laughter for the whole family. Be there. This advertisement sponsored by Demerara Mutual Life. Am with them.
Welcome back, listeners, viewers, those of you via social media platforms, the WhatsApp. There, of course, those of you want to make a contribution via that, feel free to do so. Those of you want to call in via the WhatsApp 435-2041, you certainly have that option. Those of you want to call in directly, also, you're welcome. Let me say good morning to Judelin. Good morning, long time. Certainly hope you're doing good. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, welcome, good morning.
JT.
Good morning.
Yes,
Caller, good morning. You have a contribution to make. Let's hear from you. There with the call. Not sure what's happening there with the caller, but 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's take a peek at some of the contributions thus far. Let's see what's available. Don't forget, GBN Spice Up the Carnage, the Soca Monarch edition. Hey, folks, you could certainly be part of that. Certainly hope you at least have made the necessary registration and so forth already, and you're getting all geared up for that. We understand the circumstances in terms of Hurricane Beryl that passed, but we still have to do what we got to do, as some folks would say, right? That was a contribution I was going to read a while ago, but for some reason I have just sort of lost it. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
I just want to point out something, please. NADMA is not supposed to prepare food and clothing and bedding for people. People are supposed to go to the shelter with a little bag, well prepared with something to eat, their clothing and everything. That is not the duty of NADMA, to feed people in the shelter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for the clarification there. And I guess folks will know that. You were offered a place of shelter. Doesn't mean that they were supposed to. They would like to, I'm assuming, but they were not supposed to offer you all that you need at the point in time. If at the time that you came to the shelter that you may have lost everything, then that's a different situation altogether. But and you knowing that you're going to go to the shelter before the actual, whatever is going to be taking place, then you should walk with the necessaries. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, welcome. Good morning.
Morning, GT. Glad to see that you made it through.
Good morning to you.
Riding on the positive its contribution that the food lady made this morning on your program. It's for food security. We must take it more seriously moving forward. The food that you said, all these foods falling and being should be sent to Caracos. But beyond that, we need to start preserving, corning, and somehow save all the food we can, put it under the ground for times like a hurricane or the water that might come. No food should go spoiled. This is North America, and area that everybody should chip in, and anything that falls to the ground should not go to waste. It should be pickled, and every way to preserve it, because we don't have enough food to feed before the damage in St. Patrick, we just never had enough fresh food and vegetables for everybody. So everybody should chip in and find ways to save their own food and their baseline in some form of underground storage.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution also. 445-2041. Let's get some of the, let's go to the Facebook so we could entertain some of the comments there. We have Giselle is saying, I guess she's referring to one of the callers that called in before, and is saying, the man was basically saying that not everyone can afford to buy food items to go to the shelter. With what is so difficult with understanding that you all are behaving like everyone in Grenada living good. Well, that's what. Let me say good morning to Zephyrin. Zephyrin, good morning, and thanks for tuning in this morning. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, welcome. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for your program. Very interesting. I just want to remind your viewers and your listeners that NAGMA has put up a list of the specific things they want sent to Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So they don't want us to go and empty our houses and get anything. Specifically, the things that are on the list are needed. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that bit of information this morning. 435-2041. An open line this morning here on the program, folks. Let's hear from you. And lots of folks, maybe you could, of course, if you have some supplies that you would like to send up to Carriacou, there are various options. You could drop it directly at NAGMA's, at NAGMA, headquarters, folks. You could also, there are various, churches that are accepting, of course, supplies also if you want to drop it off there, and they will certainly get it up to the Sister Isles. 435-2041, 435-2041. Looking at some of the contributions via the Facebook. Some of them I don't want to get into the debate with it. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's go to the WhatsApp. Let's see what's available via the troll again via the WhatsApp in terms of one sending messages via the WhatsApp. And someone is saying, GT, good morning. We saw the devastation of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Our hearts and prayers, of course, with them, but we haven't seen pictures of St. Patrick. So we are inquiring everyone to, of course, urging everyone with a drone and to make a video so we can see what's happening in Sateres and surrounding villages. All right, that's someone is asking that if they would like to see pictures maybe of St. Patrick. Good morning once again. And someone is saying, GT, looking from the outside, I applaud the government for managing the situation very well and updating the masses. The next step would be having a building code whereby houses are built to withstand these disasters. Great contribution there from another individual there via the WhatsApp. 435-2041, 445. Let's hear from you this morning. It's an open line here on the program this morning. Make your contributions you can call in via the WhatsApp 435-2041. You could also call me directly, same number 435-2041. You want to make a contribution in terms of a message via the WhatsApp or the Facebook page, you also have the freedom to do that also. 435-2041. And those of you viewing the television, you're probably looking at footage of some of the devastation in the Sister Isle of Carriacou. And it sometimes fills your heart a wee bit to look at it, and it's certainly not the kind of sight that you were happy to see at all. All right, 435-2041, 435-2041, and that's the number. And if you do have a contribution to make, we have approximately 25 minutes left on today's program. We're looking at 35 minutes moving up before the top 10. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning. Caller, good morning. Guess we lost that caller there. 435-2041. Don't forget, folks, you can turn the whatever device you have on in the background when you decide to make that call. Sometimes it just gets you a bit confused, so we can make that seamless connection. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir.
To your listeners and your viewers. I'm very interested how we unfold our living here. If you don't practice something, it doesn't come automatic. People are saying that we should come together and all that kind of thing now. This is something you practice. We have been dividing ourselves in so many ways. Religion, economics, education, all kinds of things like that. When crisis comes, we say, well, we should come. And then we try to decide how people should react. We ought to have all kind of reaction in situation of disaster. Now, the criticism against NADMA, I think is really unfortunate. And I think people should defend NADMA because the improvement in NADMA, particularly since 2022, with the appointment of Dr. Walters, have given us hope. And of course, there's a long way to go. Don't forget, a lot of things have been done. Remember when Mr. McIntyre was supposed to be head of NADMA, he was sidelined, whether we like it or not. When COVID came, the role he was supposed to play, he was not allowed to play that role. Institutions being destroyed in Grenada, in every sense of whether the public works department, all kinds of things. So we are trying to get heaven now here. Even, just imagine, forestry, Ministry of Agriculture. It was really treated badly. With the IMF program, we had 3 for 10. People tend to forget those things. My thing is that we must ask ourselves, well, how did we arrive where we are? How we could prevent that going forward, rather than trying to pretend. Even as much as we have to be concerned about the brothers and sisters who are affected severely here, what about the brothers and sisters who have been allowed to languish? Whether we regard them as vagrants, the ones who have fallen out of the society because of we have been so inhuman and selfish. So I'm saying, to be communal requires much effort. Some of the things that is coming over on the air radio should be being battling out in the villages prior to those things, the idiosyncrasies, the ego thing, the personality stuff, so that when crises like this come, we will have a unified position, a unified approach, not position, approach. And unfortunately, there are some people who doesn't have the capacity to be expansive in mind, to understand that there are certain laws of life. A few months ago, people was up in arms against the government move to regularize spending on the sidewalks and so on, what people need to live and all that thing. I mean, in certain areas, they have tried to remove the derelict vehicle along the road and that kind of thing. But a lot have happened. Whether we like the administration or not, there are a lot of happening in the context of all the difficulties that they face. So, what is required now? We need to become radically honest, and we are not an honest people. I am very happy that the government made a move to ensure that there was no looting. In 2004, a deliberate policy was taken to allow people to loot. I say a policy was allowed. The new government learned lessons from that and preempted that. That is a good start, because don't forget, the looting affected us after Hurricane Ivan even more than anything else. There was shortages, there was increasing prices and that kind of thing. And then I need to ask some questions. For instance, as we said we were building back better since 2004. How is it that we have so much people wanting to be in shelters? I'm not saying that they don't have a right to be there. If we were building back better, I thought that people would feel more secure to stay in their houses as much as possible. I mean, we'll always have people who need rescue from the state and from others. But the extent to which people are relying on shelters and want even to be able to have baths and all that thing in the heat, in the midst of the hurricane, something has to be wrong with us. And that, I want to link up, because people don't get a problem with a link thing. We need now to understand the plight of the people in Palestine, or even in Haiti, where in all the problems they were going through over months and months, to how it is, so that when our people now are facing that kind of thing, they appreciate it even more. And I said earlier this morning, as Jamaica have been hit, other islands have been hit, the emphasis would be less on Grenada and Carriacou by the international community. In fact, a friend in England who told me a lot of stuff has said that she noticed that this time around there have been less to think about it from the charities and them about supporting situation here. And I explained that you have wars all over the place, so they have to find what I mean. So the long and short of this, we have to find a way of looking inward and finding a way to resolve the challenges. The other thing about it is that, and it would not abate, it would continue. We could expect more and more, even more severe hurricane. When people like myself,
Cole, I'm going to give you another 30 seconds to wrap, please.
When people like me challenge the policy of cutting down trees to plant sugar cane to export to Europe, I was told I'm accused of not wanting development. And we see what that has resulted in. Are we going to continue with that? Or are we going to ensure that we put a halt to that and also all the projects, the hotels and so on that we allow, the marinas and so on, that undermine our ability to respond or to be protected when these things come? Thank you very much for your indulgence.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution also. A little bit lengthy, but certainly do understand sometimes you do have stuff to say. Hey, don't forget the Osprey lines will, of course, resume operation as of today. And so forget Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. They depart Grenada from 6 a.m. and they'll depart Carriacou from 3:30 p.m. That's Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Don't forget also Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday they will depart Grenada from 9 a.m. and they will depart Carriacou from 3 p.m. So those of you probably wants to visit family and friends, you could do so, or probably want to make arrangements to get family and friends from Carriacou to Grenada. The Osprey Lines has resumed operations. Let's entertain another caller, and we sort of due for a break, but let's entertain this caller. Caller, good morning, you're welcome.
Hi, good morning, JT. JT, we're speaking about cutting down trees and this and that. I don't feel that make a difference. The hurricane come and it might down a whole island of trees. Why is cutting down one tree? Cutting down one tree can never bring this kind of disaster on people. Because what happen, you can't stop it. You might down every single tree in the country and you just have to stop and watch it. So why is cutting down one tree? A friend in Dan said the fuel that we burn in, there's a major havoc to this world. So JT, have a good day.
You too, sir. Have a good day yourself, and thank you so much. Let's take one more before the break. Caller, welcome. Good morning.
Have a good day yourself, and thank you so much. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, a lady called and inquiring about her house and things. She's not getting on to her family, her friends. But I want to let her know there's a lot of electricity wired down in that area. And also, no houses were destroyed in that area. So, as a matter of fact, the hurricane that passed around that area didn't come for houses, it come for breadfruit trees and mango trees and things like that. So I think she could breathe a little sign of relief. Yeah. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I guess that will bring some sort of relief to her a whole lot. Let's take a break. When we come back, we entertain more of your calls. Stay with us. To the Point here, Classic Radio GBN TV. We'll be right back.
The Agricultural Shop at the Renick Thompson Building on
Coming up, African emancipation celebrations build towards the big day. Crop Over rolls towards its own colorful conclusion. One of this region's top banks continues to demonstrate the power to make a difference. Welcome to another award-winning Home Away from Home. Caribbean athletes ready for the world. Souvenirs stitched from scratch. It's all next on this station.
Thursday afternoon in a 60 zone. This 34-year-old motorcyclist was on his way home. It's our job to work out why he never got there. The rider broke his neck on impact here, having crashed into this car that was turning right. For analysing the impact, we know he hit the car at 30 kilometres per hour. And these marks on the road tell us that he skidded for 21 metres, having braked hard here. When he first reacted, he was doing 68. But let's change one small thing. At 60, the driver would have had more chance to see him properly. He'd have stayed in control and reached this point a moment later. The car would have cleared his path and he'd be home by now. You decide on your speed. The physics decides whether you live or die.
Spend $50 or more at any Hubbard's department or participating outlets for a chance to win free fuel, free drinks, free prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free Hub TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free Dutch Lady milk, free passes to Sunshine promotion events for 2024, free groceries, all for one whole year. And every winner receives a free lunch package. But that's not all. Drive away in style in a brand new Isuzu D-Max. It sips, it doesn't guzzle. So fill out your entries and place them into the marked entry boxes. This promotion is brought to you in part by Dutch Lady, Danny, Promo, Supreme Bleach, Creative Chef, Glen, Floor, Salt Petroleum, Grenadian General Insurance Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Sunshine Promotion, Caribberies, Guap Bag, Sesame Spain, and Food Fear. Promotion runs from April 2nd to December 24. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. Let me get a contribution this morning here from someone via the WhatsApp. I think I sort of appreciate the contribution, so I'm going to read it out. Now, good morning. It's disheartening to hear comments on the Disaster Management Agency. We as a people must sit and think before speaking. There is no way some Grenadians would learn from the good, the bad, or the ugly. Please, my people, stop spreading rumors about persons missing from the Sister Isle until the relative data is provided. That's a contribution from someone there via the WhatsApp. I thought I should, of course, read it out. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, welcome. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Good. Let me hear from you.
How the weather treat you?
I'm not complaining. Not complaining.
Okay, all right. I want to say that after Hurricane Ivan, I was in St. David, and I living in Woodlands Cafe in St. George's now, and I have to say that I compliment the people of Grenada, right? Some of the people in Grenada, because people build back better after Ivan, and I could confirm that because I put her downstairs and I strapped my roof, and the type of roof that I build is a hurricane roof, and the eave is shorter, and a lot of people, they build back the eave shorter and use the hurricane straps and put downstairs. So I have to say that a lot of people build back better after Hurricane Ivan. Maybe some of them who don't have the money to really build back better, they build back something, right? They build something back, but maybe they don't have the money, like maybe I or a lot of others. So I have to say that I compliment a lot of them who could have built back better. And a lot of them, they put the downstairs on. The eave in the house, right? When you do the eave and the eave is overlapping, right? When the wind, what I experienced in St. David with Ivan, the wind going under that because it's too wide and it raised up the roof, and you see the wind take the eave and the galvanize and they go in with it. So that is a problem. People have to look at how they're building now, because I have a niece in Carriacou, and right now her house stand up because the eave is short, and thank God she had do the eave short, so she survived. Thank you.
Thank you so much. 435-2041. Let's take a contribution from someone via the Facebook page this morning in the comment section. And this individual is saying, some will have things to bring to the shelter, some probably don't. But some folks think it's a buffet table and should be set up at the shelter. The next day is being impossible, and of course the next day it's been impossible. And it seems like some are ready to say that the negative and to say the negatives, and hearsay and so on. As soon as the powers is restored, I heard the program last night, and that did just that. Something I saw this individual is saying there. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number. We have approximately 12 minutes left on today's program, and don't forget, folks. There's also the Government of Grenada Natural Disaster Fund, and as you can feel free to to see the wire transfer instructions that are available. I'll try to read it out for you before I wrap the show up this morning, if it's possible. A bit of a small print, but I'm trying to see. Kind of working hard with the glasses this morning, and let's see if we get this one. So there's the transfer fund. There's from the Government of Grenada Natural Disaster Fund Relief Fund, and the beneficiary bank will be the Cooperative Bank Limited, and the SWIFT code is GROAGD, and the bank order is Church Street or the bank address, I should say, is Church Street in St. George, and the beneficiary account is 121-004900. That's one. Another one, of course, Correspondent Bank for U.S. transfer transactions, and that's the Bank of America. The bank address is Miami, Florida, and once again, these are for the individuals wanting to do transfer instructions for the Natural Disaster Fund, and the account number is 190-196-4767, and the account number once again is 026009593. All right, 435-2041. That's the number if you want to be part of the program this morning, the open line edition for the program. And if you want to, of course, send a message via the WhatsApp, or you can certainly do so by calling me directly. I will certainly entertain your call. Let's take another contribution via the WhatsApp. And this one is saying, I happened to listen up to ZDK Radio in Antigua. I was able to share some of the videos of Carico and on the Ali B program, which she highlighted for the rest of her program. And before the end of the program, there was organizations who were coming together this week to have a fundraising for the people of Carico and Petit Martinique. That's someone making a contribution as regards to that. 435-2041. Let's hear from you folks before we take a wrap for today's program. And I did mention before, don't forget the Osprey Lines is back up and running. So their operation is scheduled once again Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays between the hours of 6 a.m. And that's when they depart Carico. And they will, of course, depart Carico to Grenada from 3:30 p.m. That's for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. They will depart Grenada from 9 a.m. All right, and they will depart Carico from 3:30 p.m. That's for Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. All right, hope you get that. Hope you certainly understand that. It's to the point here on Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9. Let's go to the phone line and entertain another caller. Caller, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
I happen to be driving and hearing your program this morning, and there has been a tremendous amount of concern and interest in Carico because almost every house is practically headless. But I think that we are underestimating what has happened in St. Patrick's and northern St. Andrews. These are the bread baskets of the country. Before Ivan, Grenada was number 2 in nutmeg production in the world. After Ivan, and up to last week, we were ranking number 8. After this particular hurricane, we will be off the map completely. If you see reports coming from farmers who have lost trees, I'm talking about trees falling down, trees being broken, and it is going to take you 6 to 7 years to get nutmeg bearing again if people have the will to go back and plant. So the question of Grenada being a major producer of nutmegs is now history. And we are talking, last year the association would have spent over $5 million buying nutmeg from farmers. So that is $5 million lost to the rural economy. And I'm not talking about banana. I am not even cocoa trees. Cocoa normally will just lose their leaves. Even cocoa trees have been uprooted. And we are not talking about that. Agriculture has practically, we're talking about traditional agriculture again. We're now talking about agriculture being history in Grenada. And surprisingly, I have not heard a single official comment from neither from the associations nor from the relevant ministry as to the state of play or the disaster that we have had in the northern St. Andrews and the St. Patrick's area where nutmeg and cocoa, our traditional export crops, are concerned. That is my contribution. I regret to have to bring this to out like that, but I think that we are underestimating the level of devastation that has taken place in this thing. Right now, I am on my way to the middle of the island, Cloche, and I am told that trees from Pyrenees, St. Omer, all of those places are flattened. There's a friend of mine who is just retired, used to work with one of the big firms in town. I spoke to him yesterday. He told me he lost 99% of his nutmeg production. 99% of his trees are on the ground. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Appreciate it a whole lot. 435-2041, 4 minutes before we take a wrap for today's edition of To The Point here on Classic Radio GBN TV. You still have the option of calling, still can accommodate a couple more calls if they come really quickly, whether you want to call in via the WhatsApp or you want to call in directly. 435-2041. That's the number to get on the program this morning. Once again, good morning to one and all. Let's take some contributions from the Facebook page this morning before we entertain another call. And this individual is saying, the hurricane just happened. The government is trying to help the people to get shelter. Please be patient. There's another individual that stop being so pessimistic. Be optimistic. Optimistic people have faith. Also, someone is saying, I don't think I want to get that one on the air for now. This other contribution, what it's saying. There was a very good move by the government. All who was waiting patiently to loot the people business. Please were. Sometimes folks always have to put a little humor in there, and it's all good. 435-2041, 435-2041, and it happened in the time of Ivan, and the Grenadian people are resilient people, and things will bounce back. And I guess that individual is sharing their of course their feelings, so it just relates to that. Hey folks, pretty soon we're going to take a wrap for today's program. We probably could take another break, and when we come back from the break, probably it will be just time for us to wrap today's edition of To The Point. We'll be right back after the break. Stay with us, folks.
Looking
we say, yeah, GBN we say, arts and culture living, yeah, rock the box we say, I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box we say, I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box we say, we'll be jamming here on a Thursday. I want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11, K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Been up in the 7 4 7 to the West Indies. Grenade and no mass like this. No mass like this. Jumping up in the 7 4 7 to the West Indies. Grenade and no mass.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. I just thought I should read this out, the priority list of relief items, just in case you were thinking about, of course, getting some items together. Here's the priority list of items. I'm just going to kind of read it there from my phone just for a wee bit. Water is needed. They're asking for tarpaulins. That's from 100 foot or the 40 by 30 feet. Non-perishable food such as milk and mixed vegetables, sardines, corn, etc. Cough for sleeping, blankets, pillows. You could also, some of the relief items needed. They're looking for the hygiene kits for women and men, hygiene kits for children, toiletries, also first aid kits, hand sanitizers, sanitary napkins, baby pampers and wipes, also baby formula, adult pampers. You could also have 5-gallon that's jerry can water for of course, relative vest is also needed, or reflective, let me get that, my apology there, reflective vest is also needed. Also, those of you who want to get those relief items, you could also have emergency solar batteries, operated radios. We're looking for flashlights, solar if possible, solar lights, generators. If you could get them at high as 5,000 watts, that would be appreciated. Chainsaws, spear bars and chains, 18 by 32 blades are needed. Also fuel cans, books, coloring books for the children, and medical list. The medical list will follow shortly. So those are some of the priority list of relief items needed. So if you are planning on sending anything, those are the things that are needed as a priority. Hey folks, it's 1 minute already going after 10 a.m. this morning. That's where we take a wrap for this edition of To The Point for today. Thanks all who contributed towards today's program. It was an open line edition, and certainly do appreciate all who called in and made their contribution. Until we have another edition for you, that will be tomorrow. I want to wish everyone a great day, and that's where I say goodbye, and God's blessings goes out to everyone. Goodbye.
Serve Grenada.